This is Tony Cañas, and today I want to tell you the story of the worst claim I ever had. The best part of being an underwriter is that you get to make million-dollar decisions for the company. And you can do this pretty early in your career, sometimes very early in your career, and sometimes more than million-dollar decisions. So what I mean by that is, as an underwriter, especially in commercial lines, you are making decisions that you're putting the company on the line to pay potentially million-dollar losses on a much smaller premium. So the best part of being an underwriter is that you get to make those decisions. You get to make million-dollar decisions for your company very early in your career. The worst part of being an underwriter is that you get to make million-dollar decisions for your company very early in your career. I had two underwriting roles early in my career. I was a small commercial farm underwriter, and later I was a middle market underwriter. And I'm not going to say the company, but let's just say an excellent company, a really excellent company. During this time as a middle market underwriter, I underwrote a piece of new business for a chemical manufacturing company. And needless to say, I am not an expert in chemical manufacturing in any way, shape, or form. So I worked closely both with loss control or risk management, depending on your company, how they call it, and with my manager, who had 30-some years of experience as an underwriting manager in this particular company. Worked very closely with them to underwrite this policy. I was for a new factory, for a brand new operation. We had multiple conversations with them, and we wrote it, and it was a big account. It was a big win. Within a few months of the factory beginning operations, there was an accident. A pipe exploded, malfunctioned, exploded, and a worker at the factory suffered severe burns on 80% of his body. So he survived. I'm in the office one day and I see this email letting us know of the claim, and I basically started cold sweating, because I wrote this thing, right? And very quickly emails start flowing and phone conversations start happening and lawyers get involved. And very quickly it is clear that this thing is getting reserved very quickly to almost $2 million worth of reserve. I can't remember the exact premium we were charging for the account. Let's call it 100,000, 80,000, something on the lines. Quite simply, this account is never going to be profitable for the company. Later on, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks after this has happened, I've been stressed about it. So I think I'm gonna get fired, basically, right? I think I'm gonna be shown the door, and this is the end of my underwriting career because of this one account. Finally, the major loss conference. Many carriers have this where when there's a major loss, the underwriter's manager and claims, and everybody meets up. So that gets scheduled. And my boss, who is absolutely wonderful manager, absolutely wonderful underwriter, scheduled some time to chat with me to make sure that we have that we have everything that we need for that meeting. And so I go into the meeting just with my boss. I don't remember the rest of the meeting. We might have met for 10 minutes, we might have met for 40 minutes. What I do remember is him saying, "Don't worry, we underwrote the crap out of it. We're in the business of paying losses. It happened." Then he also reminded me of an old saying that I had heard, which is, it costs $1 million to train an underwriter. This is why. So the reason I love telling this story is because I was very impressed with the company. I was very, very impressed with the fact that I didn't get in trouble, with the fact that they reviewed my documentation, and I had done everything according to the book. I had brought loss control in when it was needed. I had correctly used the loss control report to underwrite the account. I had correctly gone to my boss and his boss and other experts within the company to get authority for the things that were more complicated within the account. I had done everything I had to do. I had properly analyzed the risk and had properly documented it. This is the business we're in. This is the bad side of the amazing thing that it is to be an underwriter, which is that you get to make million-dollar decisions for the company. So I am forever thankful for everything I learned during my 2 years in middle market and how well the company treated me. The reason I tell this story is because I often, during Chat with Tony questions, when we talk about underwriting, everybody wants to go into underwriting, but some people, the ones that are truly risk averse, are afraid. Hey, what if I go into underwriting and I underwrite something that blows up? Am I safer just staying in claims and handling the things that blow up, rather than going into underwriting and making the decision to write something that ends up blowing up? So I always tell them this story of how in a good company, the process is well designed. They will train you on how to underwrite the stuff. They don't assume that you're an expert in everything. You'll get access to loss control and to guides on how to underwrite different types of business, and they'll train you on everything, and the system will kind of guide you on the documentation. Just make sure you follow along and you dot your T's and cross your I's, and if you have an amazing underwriting assistant like I did, it'll be fine. So anyway, I just wanted to tell this story because it's a claim that I'll never forget, and one of the great things about our industry is that you can make big mistakes, and you will at times make big mistakes, but there's a difference between a misstep and a mistake, right? You have to learn from your missteps to make sure you don't repeat them. We are in the business of paying for losses. The actuaries are working hard to make sure that even when we have big losses, we have enough money in reserves to be able to cover them and continue operations and continue serving our policyholders. It's one of the many reasons that this is an amazing industry, even if we never get credit for it. Thanks for tuning in today.